Welcome to Dr. Jester Laughs, and I'm gonna laugh about this one, because it's absolutely hilarious. From Business Insider, Meta fact-checkers call an emergency meeting after Mark Zuckerberg pulls the plug. Well, he finally decided to, stop feeding the leeches. Fact-checkers, as you know, are not very reliable. They've begun to, lie because they are mostly partisan and very biased, especially because of the people they decided to hire. Because after all, they are there just for a political point to drive a narrative. Well, let's read, shall we? The International Fact-Checking Network has convened an emergency meeting for its members following Meta's announcement on Tuesday that it will end its third-party fact-checking partnerships in the US and replace them with a crowdsourced moderation tool similar to X community notes. So basically they are drying up the money that these people used to get, and they are very, very unhappy about it. After all, there's also the fact that they are not being able to drive a narrative anymore. Boy oh boy, that's not going to be good, is it? We hold these meetings monthly, but we call this one specifically because of today's news, she said. Oh boy, they're not going to be able to lie anymore. Yeah, they're not going to be able to spread the narrative. The meeting is expected to draw between 80 to 100 attendees from the IFCN network of fact checkers, which span 170 organizations worldwide. Ooh, the money is drying up. Not all the expected attendees are Meta fact-checking partners, though many of them have a stake in the program's future and its global implications. Certification from IFCN signaled that a fact-checking organization met rigorous editorial and transparency standards. Yeah, that's utter total bullshit. We all know that. Especially with the fact-checking. And, things like, things like this that tells us that they are lying. PolitiFact bias, yes, they are one of the people responsible or are present in this IFCN, according to the news. Here is a good example. Does PolitiFact deliberately try to cite biased experts? Yes, they do. This is a very good example, and they went through with it all. And here they show it with examples over and over and over and over again. They are pretty clear over it, and it's very good on how they show it. It's especially if you go to the main website of PolitiFact Bias, it shows that they have, a very clear... Wait, one moment, I had this cited, but apparently I did a boo-boo, and I closed it. One moment. Here is a good example. An out of context and prejudiced in context feature from PolitiFact. In context, what former President Donald Trump said about Liz Cheney facing a firing squad. Here is the actual quote that Trump said, which doesn't even come close to what the title says. Later, Trump added, "I don't blame Dick Cheney for sticking with his daughter, but his daughter is a very dumb individual, very dumb. She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it, when the guns are trained on her face." He's just saying that she would face what she would face during combat situation, not what they said here. Firing squad is completely different from this. So you see why people are very much not happy with fact checkers, because they lie, and lie, all for the narrative and only for the narrative. People are upset. Holland described the mood among fact checkers as somber and frustrated. Quote, "This program has been a major part of global fact-checking community work for years," she said. "People are upset because they saw themselves as partners in good standing with Meta. doing important work to make the platform more accurate and reliable. Yeah, fuck off, bitch. She noted that the fact-checkers were not responsible for removing posts, only for labeling misleading content and limiting its virality. Well, now that's interesting, because, yeah, when facts are there, you people try to hide it and spread your narrative instead. Yeah, before I continue, here is a video.
We are few. We are God's chosen knights. We are born of sin and crime. We are repentance personified. We are immortal. We are legend. We are God's wrath made manifest. And we know no fear.
I'm back, baby, yeah. Right. It was never about censorship, but about adding context to prevent false claims from going viral. Yeah. The problem is that you people tend to actually add a lot of false claims. For instance, Capital Research Center dishonestly fact-checkers how fact-checking trivialize lies by politicians and undermine truth-seeking. Yeah. Here is a good example. Brooke Jackson, the director emeritus of factcheck.org, claimed the responsibility for leading the media charge to keep the candidates honest. Quote, "It's really remarkable to see how big news operations have come around to challenging false and deceitful claims," directly said. Quote, "It's about time." The chief competitor to factcheck.org engaged in some gloating as well. Is this the post-truth election, as people have claimed? No, said PolitiFact founder Bill Adair. It's actually the thank goodness there are fact-checkers election. Here is the very interesting bit, because they are also very gloating and lying. Neither Jackson nor Adair got the facts right, as it turns out. The public trust the fact-checkers about as much as they trust politicians. A Rasmussen poll before election day found that 29% of likely voters believe the media fact-checking for political candidates, while 62% think the media just skew the facts to help candidates they support. Bingo! There you go! Well, maybe they actually believe it, but either way, allegedly, everything I said here is allegedly. Only has to look at the fact-checking statistics over this past election year to understand why voters have this view. PolitiFact gave its pants on fire label the most severe rank for a lie. To Donald Trump 57 times, Hillary Clinton earned a distinction just 7 times. And this goes on and on for multiple websites. All sides 6 ways fact-checkers are biased. Another example. R Street fact-checking, the fact-checking industry, and they actually add a very interesting point right here. Bottom line, if one wants to know the facts, fact-checkers may not necessarily be the last place to turn, but they certainly shouldn't be the first. Oh my. And this is very interesting, because these people are definitely very upset in the fact that they do not want to spread the truth, only what they view as necessary to drive the narrative. Yeah, they are not very happy about it. Here's a good example. 2 men in Uganda are facing separate charges of, quote, aggravated homosexuality, end quote, an offense punishable by death under the country's controversial new anti-gay laws. Yeah, that's CNN, but it got community noted. Here, one of these men in charge with, well, R word, a disabled man, and the other is charged with R word, a minor. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's a big difference from what they're saying here in the article. Holy moly fuck. Here's another example. IGN. Indie shows like Black Myth Wukong has seen widespread acclaim since its reveal, but the studio behind it, Game Science, has long been plagued with accusations of sexism that reflect wider issues with the Chinese games industry or report. And here is the community note. A very big one. The sexist quotes shown in the article are poorly translated. Accurate translations show the statements being vulgar but definitely not sexist. IGN reporting on these fallacious and unverified claims, though, as their fact is yellow journalism, which CNs were made to combat. Community notes. Yeah, more. Gavin Newsom. The Sun signed a permitless carry bill in April that removes requirements for background checks, instructions, training, oversight. And he is quoting the Associated Press. 9 people were injured in a shooting near the beach in Hollywood, Florida. Police say one person has been detained and another suspect is still being sought. Well, and here is the community note. The permitless carry law in Florida does not go into effect until July 1st. But they still need federal background checks and still will be required to purchase firearms in Florida. Well, it just shows why these people are really upset about all of those things. So much so that I had a discussion with one really triggered lefty that said that basically community notes is leading to fascism. Yeah, because fact-checking the fact-checkers who are pro-censorship is definitely pro-democracy. Well, as Lex puts it, well, actually Prince from Lex puts it, cheery bye.